the first appointment becomes the most important thing. And I think there are three main don'ts. People don't show up or they ghost you on the third appointment or your closing appointment. It's because they're scared that they might have to buy something. I'll help them kind of feel like, thank goodness, I'm willing to show up for that. All right, so what I thought was maybe really interesting, something that's truly one of the most important things to think about as a salesperson, something that's been bestowed to me over the years, is the importance of the first appointment. You know, a lot of folks don't close a deal. They think, oh, what did I do in this closing appointment? The thing is most of the time, it's not what we did in the closing appointment that gunked up the deal or didn't, make it go as planned. It oftentimes has to do with earlier in the sales cycle, something going wrong that led the client or the prospect astray. It's generally things that happen early on in the cycle that make the prospect clam up, that make them uneasy, and make it really hard for you to do your job effectively and put a good solution in front of them. And so the first appointment becomes the most important thing. And I think there are three main don'ts of the first appointment that every advisor really needs to be paying attention to. The first being, maybe the most important, the thing that makes me sick to my stomach when I hear it is the biography, as I call it. There's somehow this incessant need from anybody in the sales world, especially in the financial planning space particularly, to show what kind of an expert they are, to prove to this prospect that they are the talent that they appear to be, that they are somebody to listen to, that they are an expert. And it's maybe the most unexpert thing you can do in your entire sales process is to tell them that I'm an expert and you should listen to me. It's not something that you can just tell somebody to respect you. Respect is earned kind of mentality. And you show it throughout your process that you're somebody that can be trusted. And so you disclosing where you went to school or what kind of designations you have or how you got into this industry and telling them your history, it's first off something that they probably don't care about yet. And two, it's not doing you any good. It's making you look bad in front of the prospect, like you need to justify yourself, and maybe that your work doesn't speak for itself. And so think about how a doctor would walk into the room. A doctor or a lawyer, they don't sit in there and talk about their degrees before they start to figure out what's going wrong with you. A doctor will walk into the office and say, hey, what's going on? How can I help you today? And kind of let the ambiance do the talking for them as far as their expertise and their willingness to learn and listen and hear you out. That's how their expertise is going to be shown throughout the appointment process. And so I highly encourage everybody, when they go into their first appointments, to refrain from trying to, unless asked, go into what makes them an expert. As much as you feel like you going into your rap sheet of designations and experience is making you seem like an expert to the client, it is making you feel like you have to justify yourself. And it makes the prospect feel like you're not confident in who you are, and so you need to justify to me who you are and why I should listen to you. And that is maybe almost repulsive from a prospecting perspective, or from the prospect's perspective. And so something that you really want to be mindful of when you're in your first appointment is you don't need to share. Unless asked, really refrain from sharing about your background and how you got there. Now, the second most important thing in a first appointment is listening. I think this is probably something, and we've mentioned it before in other episodes of our show, it's the cornerstone of the first appointment. And I think most folks that watch these things, that are looking to improve themselves on their craft, will read books, they'll watch videos, they'll listen to mentors, and they'll hear these mentors tell them that they need to listen. 2 ears, 1 mouth. We've heard it so many times. The thing is, very few folks do this enough. So if the first don't is asking you to be more like the doctor, the second don't is asking you to be what kind, a specific kind of doctor, the therapist, right? And so while we want to portray our expertise, the expert is going to do a great job of listening to the prospect. I'd highly encourage folks to not only ask good questions, but refrain from interjecting their thoughts and opinions on whatever comes in that first appointment, at least until the end. I think a lot of advisors ask good questions. I think they fail in refraining from giving good advice. I can't tell you how many great examples we have of this. Maybe we could do another video on that, Isaiah. I don't know. Now, the third, maybe the most important thing, the ending. How are you going to wrap up this appointment? A forgotten point is clearing or disclosing what the path forward looks like. I don't think enough folks do a good job of letting the prospect know what the road ahead looks like so that they can decide whether they want to get off or not. You want to know why people don't show up to your next appointment? It's because they're scared of what's to come. That's generally what I've found. When people don't show up or they ghost you on the third appointment or your closing appointment, it's because they're scared that they might have to buy something. And so what I see some of the best producers in the business do is they get down to the end of the appointment. Let's say we go through an appointment. I do a great job listening to the prospect. When I get down to the end and I start to maybe talk to them about what I can do for them, and they say, yeah, I want to move forward, I want to look at that, I then have a duty to explain to them what that looks like. And so I'll schedule the next appointment and I'll say, okay, well, we'll get back together next week, but here's what's going to happen. Over the next week, my team's going to do X. So that when we come back together, we can go over Y. And the best way that we do that is by Z. And so we elaborate in that disclosure exactly what the prospect should expect in the next appointment. And it really helps if you can then go and throw in potential known objections. So if I know a prospect would typically be scared in the next appointment of, I need to buy something, or I feel like I'm going to get pressure sold, I'm going to disclose to them if that's not the case. Say, look, I don't want you to come back and feel like we're going to put a solution in front of your face and you're going to have to move forward and you're going to have to make a decision. That's not what the next appointment's about. The next appointment is just solely about doing X. And you're going to walk away feeling really, really great about things. Or you're going to feel like you might have some good tips on how to solve those things. Regardless, it'll be one of the most healthy exercises you do in your entire retirement planning process. I'm here more as a guide, not as somebody that's going to push you in one direction or another, okay? And so I'll help them kind of feel like, thank goodness, I'm willing to show up for that, right? And it has everything to do with how I'm lining up. So do yourself a favor. Disclose and outline what the next step of your process. In fact, I'd encourage you almost in your first appointment to disclose and outline what the entire process is going to look like. Not just the next appointment, but the appointment after that if there's a third, the appointment after that if there's a fourth, and what it looks like potentially to be a client with you. If they decide to move forward with whatever your solution is. Those are some of the most healthy things we can avoid doing. So don't disclose your biography. Don't sit down and tell them every little letter that you have behind your last name. Don't sit there and ask questions with the intent to answer them all. Be a listener, not a problem solver necessarily in the first appointment. And then thirdly, maybe most importantly, be sure to outline to your prospect exactly what they can expect from working with you so that they're not scared to move to the next step. They know exactly what they're looking for and what they can expect out of the next stages. Those are probably the best points that we can give you on how to handle a first appointment. So this would be the ending of the unmotivated clients one?
Yeah.
To feed them to the video we just saw.
Yeah. This is the end of the unmotivated video is already on YouTube.
Yeah. So if I'm ending this one, if you're having trouble working with first appointments, what video am I pointing them to?
The unmotivated clients.
Oh, unmotivated clients. Okay, gotcha. Hey, if you like this video and you're looking for more information, no. If you like this video and
If you're liking this video and maybe you're having trouble motivating clients or getting to that next step.
Hey, if you're liking this video and you're maybe having trouble motivating. Hey, if you're liking this video and maybe you're having trouble Hey, if you're liking this video and
Say if you like this video, because it'll be at the end.
Hey, if you like this video and maybe you're dealing with unmotivated clients, we got a great video all about how to motivate the unmotivated right here. Go ahead and click this link and check out our latest video on If you like this video and maybe you're dealing with some unmotivated clients, people that you're trying to get motivated to buy, check out our most recent video all about motivating the unmotivated. A great video. I think you'll like it a lot.
Okay, that's good. I think that's pretty
Good enough.